He asked me if I'd seen a road with so much dust and sand, and I said, listen, I've traveled every road in this here land. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathed the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Reno,
Here on location one more time. We're here at my house this week. Last week we were at Hamburger Depot, if you remember that. And we talked a little bit about salt. We talked about how the salt in their onion rings, how it went just a long way, and how if you left the salts out, they were completely nasty. This week we're talking about salt again, like I already said, and we're talking about salt in sausage. And I'm here at my house, and we're cooking some sausage, and I love sausage, one of my favorite things to eat. And you may be wondering, why in the world, what does sausage have to do with salt? What does this have to do with God? Well, let me explain it to you. One of the main ingredients in sausage is salt, and what the salt does is preserve the sausage from spoiling and from getting old, and it keeps us able to eat it for a long time. Now, back in the first century, when Jesus was telling the people there on the Sermon on the Mount that you are the salt of the earth in Matthew 5, he was actually that's what he meant. He meant that they were the preservative of the earth. Back in those days, they didn't use salt as a taste enhancer. They used it as a preservative. And so that's the same thing it's used for in sausage. And you're going to see tonight how that kind of completely transformed the way we look at that verse. When Jesus says that we are the salt of the earth, it gives it a completely new meaning. And I think it's a great thing that we can apply to our lives. Another thing about salt is pretty interesting. It was a very valuable thing. The Roman government actually paid their soldiers in salt because it was so valuable. There's just so many different things you could do with it, and it was just a valuable commodity back in those days. So you're going to see this tonight in our Bible study, and hopefully we'll be able to apply it to our lives.
I've seen a road with so much dust and sand, and I said, listen, I've traveled every road in this here land. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathed the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Reno, Chicago.